The armistice was signed. 11 o'clock this morning. War's been over for 4 hours.
The film flashes forward to World War II, where Marvin is now in charge of the 1st Battalion, known as the Big Red One, about to land in North Africa.
24 years later, the Big Red One was fighting the Croats again. It was World War II this time. We were invading North Africa. Great. Thanks, sir. We were his rifle squad. 1st Squad, 1st Platoon, I Company, 16th Infantry. He called us his wet noses. Griff, he was a hell of a sharpshooter. Johnson was a pig farmer with hemorrhoids. Benchy was a street kid who played hot jazz on the saxophone. And that's me. I'm Zab. I thought I was Hemingway of the Bronx.
The Big Red One is an inspired war movie from a great director who was actually there, and it hits home the message that the real glory of war is actually surviving. Easily one of the best prisoner of war yarns to come out of any British studio, the 1955 film The Colditz story is based on the real-life experiences of escapee Pat Reed. Soon put into perspective when the German commandant explains the punishment for such activities. But currently trying to remake this film with an all-American cast, The Colditz story is not only a gripping thriller, but also an historically accurate account of British heroism at its best. It's out now to buy. From Michael Mann, director of Manhunter, The Last of the Mohicans, and inventor of the TV series Miami Vice, comes the 1996 crime thriller Heat.
How's he doing?
100%. Right on schedule.
Heat starts explosively with the assault on an armoured truck by Macaulay, played by Robert De Niro, and his gang of criminals, which include the likes of Chris Shiherlis, played by Val Kilmer.
Just crossed over the number 1 lane, 300 yards from you now.
Get set.
I am.
Here we go.
Obsessed with his job, Al Pacino plays Los Angeles detective Vincent Hanna. Married to his 3rd wife, played by Diane Venora, he's also stepfather to Natalie Portman.
Hey, taking me to breakfast?
I can. I'm eating Bosco.
Hey, Vincent. Mom, where are my barrettes?
Hi, sweetie.
I saw them on the kitchen table.
They're not there. I already checked.
Want me to make coffee?
No school today?
My dad's picking me up, taking me to the new building and then to lunch.
Try under the cushions on the sofa. He's already a half an hour late.
This is a truly epic story of cops and robbers. The excellent cast and intricate plot make it a must-see, and Man fans will not be disappointed. It's out now to buy. Director Don Siegel created one of cinema's greatest anti-heroes with his 1971 urban thriller Dirty Harry, and along the way he turned the film's star, Clint Eastwood, into an American movie icon. Set in San Francisco, the story revolves around a madman on the loose and benefits greatly from composer Lilo Schifrin's famous score. When the villain demands $100,000 from the city to stop the carnage, the mayor calls in Inspector Harry Callahan, alias Eastwood. But it seems that the two have very different ideas on how to deal with the problem.
There's a madman loose. I've asked you what's being done. Fair enough?
We've got a dozen men checking identification files, checking on all known extortionists, rooftop prowlers, rifle nuts, peepers.
Mr. Mayor, we've arranged for rooftop surveillance and helicopter patrols, especially around the Catholic churches and schools and in the black area.
Ballistics is checking on the slug. We're pretty sure it's a 30-06. 7 lands and bruise, right-hand twist.
Sir, we're running a computer check on everybody in the files whose birthday falls between October 23rd and November the 21st. Why?
Natives of Scorpio.
Thank you, Inspector.
Dirty Harry took a lot of criticism when it was first released due to its glorification of vigilantism. But don't let that stop you from enjoying this great film, which is out now to buy. Director Stanley Donen is probably best known for his musical hits like Seven Brides for Seven Brothers and Singing in the Rain, but he's also responsible for the sci-fi oddity Saturn 3. The couple become even more suspicious when their new guest introduces them to his helper, the menacing robot Hector. First, the two new arrivals assist their hosts, but it soon becomes clear that Captain James has a far more sinister agenda. Okay, so the plot does have a few holes and the acting's a little on the wooden side, but for fans of cheesy 70s style science fiction, that's all part of the charm. Saturn 3 is out now to buy on DVD. Well, that's all for now. I'm Harriet Saxton. Thank you for watching Take 2. Until next time, goodbye.
Yes, and now, Clarice. Poor little Catherine is waiting.
We know that you did not kill Madame Doyle. We have proved it.
Each man has to draw his own line, Horace, and stand there, no matter what.
Why, you're stark staring nuts.
What? Fool!
I just perform a service. I can tell you learn absolute sharp.
Hold it right there, buddy.
Shocking troublemaker, Mr. Mohammed. Never knows when to stop.
You're watching Carlton Cinema. Now, cult horror from director Ed Wood. Bride of the Monster, starring Bela Lugosi. This film has been certified as G by Carlton Cinema, as some scenes are unsuitable for young children to watch alone and may require parental guidance.
Book your tickets and pack your bags for a journey with the best of British.
How do you do? Listen. For the first time since September 1666, London is burning.
But if we sit in the presence of evil and do nothing, what are we?
Tales to make you laugh and cry with Trevor Howard and Anne Todd. Gene Simmons, Lily Palmer and David Tomlinson.
Everything's splendid, terrific, wonderful, absolutely fine.
The best of British continues with a tense love scene on Carlton Cinema.
Continuing an eye-popping festival of fun on Carlton Cinema.
Could we have a few words for the television audience?
It's not the men in my life that counts, it's the life in my men.
Clearly our aunt was an unusual person.
Oh. Damn cheek.
There's a touch of romance, a dash of zaniness, and plenty of laughs. With Mel Brooks, Doris Day.
Now, we didn't know where she'd read this, had she gone to the movie house. We didn't know what she was talking about. But she kept hammering on. Till one night, I remember this.
Ramblers, let's get ramblers.
Quentin Tarantino hasn't just changed cinema, he's changed the lives of everyone who's appeared in his films.
How many actors can pull that off?
In tribute to Tarantino's masterpiece, Pulp Fiction, FilmFour has pulled together select performances from the cast in their other highly acclaimed roles, the Tarantino Connection.
Mr. Orange.
Shut up!
Nobody said nothing else about no film.
Kill anybody? With cops. No real people?
Mr. White.
Bing, 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 Ricochet Rabbit. Have I not treated you like a man out here?
I didn't create the situation. I'm dealing with it.
Let's watch.
It's just an action. It's not a piece of work.
Let's watch. It's on your daddy's wrist. He was shot down in Hanoi.
Go make yourself a drink and I'll be down in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail.
Mr. Brown. Chin Chin. Marvin, what do you make of all this?
I'm Chili Palmer. I got an idea for a movie.
This June on FilmFour, Strange But True, a season of biographical films proving real life is often more bizarre than fiction.
Ian speaking of my story, living my life before you like an express. And I wondered, however strange the shape, do you see what I saw?
These people are real, so are their stories. Strange But True, June on FilmFour. Banned for 25 years, June sees the long-awaited British television premiere of a film that redefined the boundaries of horror.
Okay, you guys.
Ouch. Yeah, I can't see it very well.
Hey, Dave!
The new Renault Scenic RX4 with smart technology 4-wheel drive. Change your scenery.
We know advanced technology doesn't have to be complicated. That every product must be meaningful. And the end result will make you smile. Open up to Samsung Digital. Samsung Digital. Everyone's invited.
Well, we're lost then.
Ask him.
Hello there. How do we get to Ibiza?
I've even up here. Turn left and left again at First Street, about halfway down on your right. You can't miss it.
Order the Edge at Pizza Hut and we'll give you this voucher so you'll get up to £200 off thousands of Virgin Holidays.
Where have you been?
I've been to the Edge!
Get money off Virgin Holidays worldwide at Pizza Hut now. Have you been to the Edge?
Munich to Brussels, 685 marks. Oslo to Amsterdam, 1,880 kroner. Bologna to Arnhem, 310,000 lira. From home to the stadium, 179 guilders. Climbing the stairway to heaven, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
Chat Radio.
Dave Pike.
In the morning. Our sponsors, Kellogg's Nutri-Grain, have a new tastier bar. Why is this one so special?
Well, Dave, it's the delicious twisted combination of real fruit and the smooth creaminess of yogurt filling.
That's funny. You say yogurt, and I say yogurt.
Sorry?
Well, you know, like tomato.
There's no tomato in it. Only fruit and yogurt.
Let's take a call. Dave Pike!
Hello, Mr. Polk.
You're listening to Dave Pike with new Nutri-Grain twists. The right mouthful in the morning.
statistics tell us 23.6% of the viewing public prefer to watch TV lying down. So, for that 23.6%, here's the number you can call day or night to find garages, guest houses, restaurants, sofa showrooms, skip hire firms, dentists, and dolls.
Look good, don't they? You think so too, but this is better for him. It's new. Frisky's Vital Balance is rich in ocean fish. What's more, it's balanced. It provides him with just the right amount of fish and nutrients and vitamins, which is vital for his diet. It really makes a difference, which means I no longer have to fish for compliments.
Getting the right balance is vital for your cat.
The Sisters of Murphy's. Here to offer guidance for those in precarious situations. What a lovely looking fella. Go get him, sisters.
What is your emergency? I can't seem to find the people that I was in the Pine Barrens with when I was camping with them last night. I got a really bad feeling about it.
Well, young ladies, we are indeed fortunate in the weather for our picnic to Hanging Rock.
Everything begins and ends at exactly the right time.
Our main host is missing. Johnny Love is gone.
You got nothing to worry about, you. You just take it easy, yeah?
People just don't disappear, my dear.
An evening of films portraying the nightmare of abduction, featuring the UK TV premiere of the last broadcast. Starts at 6, Saturday the 1st of July, only on FilmFour.
What happened is true. For 5 young friends, a typical summer afternoon drive becomes a terrifying nightmare. Now on FilmFour, Extreme Cinema presents the UK TV premiere of Tobe Hooper's infamous low-budget shocker. Mark Kermode introduces The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Hello? Anybody home? You boys don't want to go mess around the old house. Those things is dangerous. You're liable to get hurt.
Tonight's slice of Extreme Cinema is one of the most notorious horror films ever made. A landmark of terror which was outlawed by the British censors for nearly 25 years and which still cuts straight to the bone a quarter of a century after it was first unleashed. According to former Chief Censor James Furman, it's an exercise in the pornography of terror. For genre filmmaker John Carpenter, it's a classic which rides along the very edge of taste. And for film critic Kim Newman, it's quite simply a masterpiece which is totally committed to scaring you witless. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre was allegedly based on the activities of grave robber turned murderer Ed Gein, who lived in Plainfield, Wisconsin, and whose crimes, which included skinning, eating, and even wearing bits of his victims, had already inspired such classic shockers as Psycho and Deranged. Written by Kim Henkel and directed by Tobe Hooper, later director of Life Force and Poltergeist, Texas Chainsaw was sold to its audience with the tagline, "It happened," a claim apparently bolstered by the grueling docudrama style, which gave viewers the impression that what they were watching was real. Shot largely in and around a claustrophobic house, which designer Robert A. Burns had decorated with entrail artworks, the movie literally placed the viewer right inside the mouth of madness, when Marilyn Burns and her unfortunate compatriots discover the dark side of the myth of the American family. And everyone screams. A lot. If the events of Texas Chainsaw were shocking, the way the British censors dealt with them was even worse. When the film first came before the board in March 1975, trailing glowing US reviews, the BBFC was so appalled that they simply banned it outright. Not to be defeated, the distributors screened the film for the now defunct Greater London Council, who agreed that it was tough, but saw no reason to suppress it and granted a special GLC X rating, a move later followed by other local councils. 2 years later, the film found its way back to the BBFC, where James Furman, embarrassed by its growing popularity, spent some time with a chainsaw of his own, attempting to cut out the very few shots of explicit violence. And when he'd finished, he learnt what we all knew in the first place. The film was acceptable, or more accurately, censor-proof. The cuts made no difference at all, Furman huffed, before finally giving up and banning it again. It wasn't until Furman finally resigned from the board at the end of the 90s, by which time the film had been banned a third time, that Texas eventually earned itself a long overdue amnesty from new chief censor Andreas Whittam-Smith. The version you're about to see is exactly the same version that was first outlawed back in 1975, with no cuts, just pure undiluted terror. Will you survive the Texas Chainsaw Massacre? And if you do, what will be left of you?
Bruce Willis.
Butch.
Big ego.
Played the movie mogul in 4 Rooms.
See? Big ego.
Travolta.
How you doing? Gets rich and gets shorty.
Nice. Uma Thurman. Very nice.
Plays one of the beautiful girls.
Says it all.
The Tarantino Connection continues tomorrow from 8 on FilmFour.
David Thewlis plays Freddie Mays, who, if you want to put it in a good guy, bad guy scenario, he's the good guy, you know. He's handsome Freddie Mays, as they call him in the script. Basically, he's got everything. He's got the nice looking women, he's got the fast cars, he's got the big flat.
What a place.
Paul Bettany plays young gangster, and young gangster looks up to Freddie Mays, and he joins Freddie Mays' gang, and then he begins to try to take over Freddie's crown, if you like.
What's that?
That's my favourite act, Eddie. Malcolm McDowell plays Old Gangster. Old Gangster survived through the late 60s through to the 1990s, and Malcolm become this monster.
Freddie Mays is back. Lock up your daughters.
There's something very truthful about her.
What's your name?
Karen. And this love that exists between her and David Thewlis's character. I think that's quite unusual in this age of cynicism. I like the idea that they have this love that endures.
You're an actress.
Nah.
Could be an actress, face like that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Don't mention it.
It's about one man's descent into madness through his lust for power, and Freddie, my character, holds the power that Gangster desires, but that's Gangster's downfall.
I've got a machete on the back seat, a chopper on the passenger seat, and this old Beretta tugging in trousers. And I'm happy.
The new Renault Scenic RX4 with smart technology 4-wheel drive. Change your scenery.
It's not only kids that have invisible friends. Some mums do too. You can't see or smell detox, but you can trust it to kill bacteria like E. coli that cause food poisoning.
What happened to your plate? Racing's got it. Rosie, stop it.
Detox antibacterial cleanser. Protect your family. Reach for the sword.
Mom, what about pudding?
My invisible friend's making it.
Orange believe everything you want should be within your reach. To find out how Orange can bring you guides to music, comedy and film direct to your phone, even movie reviews, call 0800 80 1080. Take your world with you.
What have you got for my secret mission?
This?
Is it a perfume?
No, it's new imac cream with fragrance sensation.
Oh, really?
It contains fragrance microcapsules.
Mmm.
And it leaves the skin perfectly smooth.
And how would you know?
Imac with new fragrance sensation. And now a new way to remove hair. Keeping your legs smooth day after day. New Imac Silk Creme Hair Removal. Imac, mission impeccable.
Oh, Lucasade. Thanks, lovely.
Spartacus! Boris!
I'll give you woof.
Sarah is identical to Susan in every way, except one.
I've got an idea.
Excuse us? Food and drink stains don't cling to her teeth. Tests show using McLean's whitening every day not only helps break up stains, but also helps prevent the build-up of food and drink deposits that attract stains.
Come on, let's swap. What do you think? Bet they won't notice.
I'll smile anyway.
Bring out the natural whiteness of your teeth with McLean's whitening.
This is ridiculous. Whose idea was it to see 5 houses in one morning?
Look, do you want me to drive?
I'm not one yet with a garage.
The right!
I can tell you now, I'm not missing the match.
I said right! Little carpet!
Quick, get a bag, Caroline.
Go on!
Now, Asserta Home makes house hunting less painful. With thousands of houses online, it's easier finding the one you want. Do your homework first. AssertaHome.com.
Mum! Look what I've done!
Easy, Tiger. Here. Have your pint back.
Get your own, you cheeky cow. And you lot can clear off and all.
They're having their music lesson, Mr. Bianco. Would you care to come in the next room and listen to them play the piano?
The FilmFour rhythm make you move your feet.
We begin a new era.
Go Saturdays! Every weekend in June. Twisted pleasure. That's right! Undiluted evil. Warped entertainment and enlightening experiences. Come Saturday. Super sharpshooter shoots the shots. Branded to kill. The grass is green, but the gangsters are mean. Kiss of death. Go Saturdays this Saturday on FilmFour.
A search to explain a motiveless crime leads to disturbing truths now on FilmFour. Alicia Witt and Renee Humphrey star as the ultimate teenage